Hi guys, this is Anna and welcome to my channel. In this video I'd like to show you all of the books I have purchased in the months of June and July. There were not that many, so I'm putting both months into one overall book haul. I'm going to Russia next week and I will be bringing quite a few books back with me, or rather I think I might just post them because they are quite heavy. All of those books will be in Russian, but everything I'm going to show you today has been either written in English as the first language or has been translated into English because that is the language I purchased them in. So I'm going to start by two works by J.M. Coetzee. I showed you in my May book haul one of his other works which I'm yet to read, but I just could not pass those two lovely books, both published by Vintage. First one is Disgrace and the other one is called Youth. When I saw them, just waiting for me to be picked up in my favorite Oxfam. Then I came across it's a set of books which all has to do with classics, like in a proper sense. I think it used to belong to one of the students who did classics and just finished his studies or her studies, I don't know, because they were all together in the shop. I just grabbed them. So I'm gonna start with Plato, The Republic, and this particular book has been translated and revised by Desmond Lee. It's in the English Classics edition. Another one in the same edition, this is Platius in his Rob and Other Plays. So it's the same edition of Penguin Classics, and Plato has been translated by E.F. Watling. I then got Sophocles, The Theban Plays. Again, same place, and this has also been translated by E.F. Watling. It's an absolute classic. Those are quite old, well-used books, which is exactly what I was after. I then got this great Cambridge University guide to reading the Iliad. This is called Landmarks of the World Literature, Homer, the Iliad. And this has been written by M.S. Silk, who is a reader of classics in King's College, Cambridge. It's rather old. Let me just have a look. When was it published? It was published in 1987. But because next year I am planning on rereading the Iliad in different translations, I thought this companion guide would be quite handy. Then going back to the Penguin Classics, I got Euripides, the Bacchanal and Other Plays, and this one comes with some underlined notes, quite a lot of scribbles. So it's a working copy a student reading classics has used. It has irony, it has been used in lectures and in a tutorial. They show no pity, she has been justly punished. There's a lot of translation and it's definitely a working copy. And it is, I think, rather useful. So who has translated this lovely piece? It's been translated by Philip Vallcott. Then there are four books in the Penguin Classics, and I have Henry James, The Europeans. I have Niccolo Machiavelli, Prince. Alexandra von Humboldt's personal narrative of a journey to the equinoctial regions of the new continent, which I have never read, but I came across several times as reference to another book, so I thought this would be useful. And then I finally bought Geoffrey Chaucer, The Canterbury Tales, which I have read previously on several occasions. This was the first book I remember reading when I was in American high school in my English lessons. The book which really puzzled me in terms of my vocab. I vividly remember picking up vocabulary words such as knight, armor, sword by reading this book, because I have never known what these terms are. So I remember sitting there with my Russian dictionary just translated what the heck was armor or what was sheath and what was the sword. I had no idea what this terms meant. So I've read it since, but I have not owned my own copy, and I like Penguin Classics, and this was such a bargain. Like, honestly, this was under £3 in a perfect condition. Then I'm gonna show you another book in a Penguin Classics, and this is Alexis de Tocqueville and his Democracy in America, and 2 essays on America. The reason why I have purchased this book is because that has been mentioned several times in Charing Cross 84, the book which I have read earlier this summer, and I will talk about in my monthly wrap-up. And this book was the book the protagonist in the book really wanted to purchase in a lovely antiquarian edition. Well, I'm not gonna go that far, I just purchased it in this still beautiful Penguin Classics. It's pre-owned, but it looks really new. Going back to Charing Cross, it was written by Helen Hanff. So she has mentioned her love for an Oxford professor called Hughes. So she has written subsequently, after the success of 84 Charing Cross Road, she has written Hughes' Legacy, where she delves more about why she loves this professor. It says here in the blurb, Hughes' Legacy: once upon a time an American fell in love with books and ordered them with discrimination but in numbers from a second-hand bookshop in London. From her correspondence with her favorite shop grew the international bestseller 84 Charing Cross Road, and a stage play, a plaque on a building which replaces the bookshop, a magical visit to England, and other consequences that have changed her life. It all sprang from a chance encounter on the shelves of the public library with the work of Sir Arthur Quiller Couch, or Q, as she calls him, an experience which was to influence her taste, her writing, her very philosophy, and here's Helen Hand's enchanting tribute to Q. So I'm really curious about reading this book. I think I'm really gonna like it because I loved 84 Charing Cross Road. And what else have I recently picked up? Because I was on the subject of Tocqueville, I have purchased another one of his books, and this is Antiquarial. This is edited by G.P. Mayer, published by Faber, and this is the Tocqueville and his journey to America. This was gifted to someone in 1963. It has a little note from the antiquarian bookshop I have found it in, but I've purchased it via eBay. And this is a rather old book. I'm trying to find the date it was published. It was published in 1959. So that's going to be a companion piece to Democracy, because it's by the same author and they're both on the same subject. Then I got my update from my favorite Fox. I love Slightly Foxed, and this particular book is number 38 and it's called The Cherry Tree by Adrian Bell, not by Anton Chekhov, by Adrian Bell. And this particular one is published in gorgeous green, and the insides look pink. So I have not read it yet, but you know I love Slightly Foxed, so I probably will be in love with this book. Another one I picked up in my favorite Oxfam just because I like the title. It's called The Taste of a Dream, An Obsession with Russia and Caviar by Vanora Bennett. Like, seriously, how can me being Russian past this gem? It says Russians have a special word for the dangerous wildness of people like my caviar eaters, living disobediently among the timid in a giant bureaucracy, ignoring the absurdly strict rules, glimmering darkly with selfish glee. The word is azart. Azart makes you rich. It makes you powerful. It brings you limos and lovers every day of the week. Even saying the word out loud makes you open your eyes wide with excitement and flare your nostrils. It dazzles and fizzles and sizzles. The Russian caviar is an edible hazard. Hazard is what makes you go and gamble. Like, you know, like, probably the best way to describe it. It's like, you know, you better say no because you're probably gonna lose, but you've been on a long winning streak and you just want to give it one more time. This is what hazard like really feels like. So yes, I am quite intrigued and I fancy reading this. And then we went to a European, continental European trip, and I have purchased 3 books while I was there, all on the subject of Venice, which is my second favorite place in the world after Cambridge. I have got a book by the Europe Editions by Alessandra Marza Magna called Bound in Venice, The Serene Republic and the Dawn of the Book. So that's about book press and publishing of books in Venice. Generally, I like most of the books published by the Europa Press, and it's set in Venice, so what not to like. I also purchased 111 Places in Venice that you must not miss, and this is published by Emmaus and written by Gerd Wolfgang Sievers. I have read this book, more or less all of it, and I'm not too impressed, so I don't know. It's quite nice. I'm going to show you a couple of things inside, because it does indeed show you some lesser known gems, so it's not going to tell you a lot about this Market Square, for example, but it will talk about the more obscure, lesser known bits and bobs, like particular facades or an interesting floor. I think it refers to Freemasons. Oh, what else is interesting? Like different colors, so things you can come across in Venice, and it gives you a little bit more about history. So if you have been to Venice before, you've done like the traditional tourist thing, you've seen most of the palaces, I will then say, yeah, this book is not bad. The one book I have purchased in Venice, and I'm reading it now, and I'm reading it slowly, and this book is absolutely bloody amazing. If you like architecture, like genuinely, or you're an architect, then this book is a must. So it has been published by Lars Muller Publishers. I'm gonna show you like this and move my face away. Hope it focuses. So this is called The Elements of Venice, written by Giulia Fascari. If you know anything about Venice, then you know that they have biannual shows. So on every odd year, like this year, 2017, they have the Biennale of Arts, and then every even year, like last year or the next year, 2018 will be next year, they're gonna have the architectural show. So this has been published back in 2014 for such architectural biennale, and this book is freaking, like, if you like Wikipedia, if you like stats, I cannot recommend it enough. Like, literally shows you. So for example, this is St. Marken, so it talks you about how the city has been built. It's broken into sections, so you have a section, I've read the facade and I've read the stairs and I've read the floor, so I'm kind of reading out of order. It tells you about the history and time, how the different bits have been built. It has an amazing amount of drawings. If I go back, it shows you how different buildings have been developed. So starting with, say, with St. Marcus Square. So it shows you how it looked like originally, and then what was built afterwards and why it was built. So it has lots and lots of plans. So it's just, I cannot recommend this book enough. Like how they build different bits, what was added over time. It shows you the architectural insight into the most famous palazzos and how the house looks like. I'm absolutely into that. Like, this is completely and utterly my kind of book. Like, for example, why do they need to have courtyards, and how the fraternal law has changed the way we see the house, and how they start building new things. And they go for all the famous staircases. This is the Doge's Palace, so you can have your golden staircase or the main staircase outside. So this is the old versus the new, and why they were built. This is the golden staircase in more detail. So when I went to Doge's Palace this time, I could actually explain to my husband the inside of the palace and how it was built and why was it built after reading this book. And he was like, well, we don't need the audio guide, because if I've just read it, I remember it really well. What else was really interesting? There's just so much about the roof and the art inside, but it's about buildings. Like, I'm into doors, so here's like the whole section about doors and why they look like they do. And if you look at the door, you will know why was it built that way and what century was it changed or added. Talks about false ceiling and how stuff used to burn because they had lots of fires. About the Titian art and how he drew and things. About talks about bridges, like the Bridge of Sight, for example. Oh, it's just, this book is a gem. It's honestly, it's one of the best books. Look at the statistics. I'm a statistics buff. Like, to me, this is a minefield. Like, literally, I'm obsessed. I've been trying to read this book slowly because it's that good. It's fantastic. If you can get your hands on it, if you're interested in the history of Venice, or how different buildings came to look the way they do, what's happening to them now with the flooding, this is fantastic. It's 5 stars already, and I'm just like a third in. So yeah, if you have read any of the books I have shown you, or you're interested in them, you might be reading them already, please do let me know. I would like to know your opinion. Happy reading, guys. Bye.